Welcome back to our Dream in the Woods. Just got these lights up, and so what's next? Milling some logs in the dark. So it's only 4:30 right now in the afternoon. Still early. Of course, gets dark, makes me get tired. I could go to bed in probably an hour and a half, but I'm not. I'm going to put a log up on the mill here and see if I can get through one before I go in for dinner. So let's get to it. Okay, got this log up here. Inside the bark is about 13 inches. And a little bit less on that side. 12 and a half. So when I look at my cant chart here, 13, this isn't going to get a square cant of 9 inches, 9.2 inches. That really, to get a square cant of 10, I need to have a 14 inch. But this isn't necessarily true for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my 6x10 beams, so I only need to have 6 inches be 10 inches wide. So I like starting off with the vertical, meaning this is a little bit oblong, so this is the long side. So I think I'm going to turn that log 90 degrees, so then I can shave off this part here, so I have 6 inches wide, and then I'll evaluate everything, then flip it 90 degrees, cut it down to 10 inches wide over here, just so I can get my 6x10 out of that. So just because it's not 14 inches wide doesn't mean that I can't get my 6x10 out of that. I just can't get a square 10x10 out of that. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm going to do. We'll go with it. Raising this up a few inches, kind of make it match with the other side. Looks pretty good. All right, so taking the first, actually taking 2 cuts at it. I don't know if you noticed on the other one, but I actually changed the angle on the second one. I had that far side up too high, so I lowered it. That changed how it leveled out here. But I don't feel like I'm at my 6 inches quite yet. I'm still, yeah, that's 5 there. So you're always trying to maximize or minimize how much you're taking off of this on when you know the log is going to be tight to get what you're looking for. So, but I think I'll come down another 3/8 of an inch or something like that, and then hopefully that will open things up to where we can get 6 inches without any wane on it. So. So I just took just a tiny little bit. So now there's my 6-inch gauge there. That one might be a little close, but of course you're taking the straightest section there by putting that thing there, but that should do it. Looks pretty good. This dark here that you're kind of seeing, that's from pulling the saw blade, pulling that bark through there. So that's why it's discolored like that, in case you're wondering about that. You can see on this section here, no bark, so no discoloration. So. Okay, so there's my end cut. Take my little jig here. My thumb's at 10 inches, so looks like it needs to go up. Yeah, doesn't need to go up. That means that my scale needs to be adjusted over there. That looks better. When it's this, I just give it a slight cut and then measure. Yeah, that's good. So that's a 10-inch cut there. Only spot that's just a little tight is down here at the small end, and that's 6 inches, so there'll be a little ribbon there maybe. And down here, of course, got bigger. I'd probably do better instead of measuring to the top of the log, measuring to the pith when I'm doing that. Go pit the pith. But I just noticed something right here. Look at this big crack. that is going to cause me problems. So, I guess I wasn't paying attention to that before, but I can see that crack goes down, oh, to right about there. So, yeah, about 3 feet of that log. So that changes course of what I'm going to get out of this log, because if I go center right here, that'll be part of that. So decision time a little bit. I need other 6x10s that are shorter, so let's go look at my cut list. Okay, so here's my cut list. This is what I've been going for. That's the 6x10x22. My other 6x10 material is 6x10x18 and 6x10x12. So I know I can get a 12 out of this. 3 feet off of there, so I think I'll just cut it to the full length, see what that damage looks like, and then cut it to an 18 or a 12. It would be a shame to cut it to a 12, but it is what it is. So I tried to keep as shallow of a cut on this side as I could. I do have a little bit of wane here and there on this one edge, but I think it's acceptable. You know, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna chamfer those edges anyway, so I think it just fine, plenty of strength there. Where there isn't plenty of strength is right there, and so I'm going to flip that and then cut my 6 inches and then see what that does with that crack that goes across there. So we'll see. All right, this is the big test right here. So 10 by 6 here, and then where that crack is, there is a 2-inch material there. All right, so that's it right there. That's the problem. So solid to there. Question is, does that make 18 feet? I don't think it does. Oh, it does. 18 feet right there. So if I went 18.6, I always cut things 6 inches longer than they need to be. 18 is probably longer than what it needs to be already, but still gives 6 inches. And there. So my first 6x10 by 18. Pretty happy with that, considering it could have been a lot worse. So my extra lumber out of that log, besides the 6x10 by 18, is I got one 1x6 and one 2x6. This is part of that crack on the end of that log. But when I look at my cut list again here, I need 2x6 by 18 feet. And so here again, 18 feet, 18.6. Plenty out of that crack. How you doing? So there turns out that there was a limit on how much this camera could be outside. Could never get it to go again. So a couple of days later, Bo and I are just out here checking on the progress. So we got one 6x10 by 18, and then one 1x6 that's like 22 feet long, and then we'll get one 2x6 and we'll cut that to 18 foot. And so that crack in that log did affect us, but we're able to salvage out some good pieces. So anyway, give me some feedback as far as what you think as far as lighting goes on milling in the dark. It seemed like it turned out pretty well. I really like the lights out here, and it seems very adequate to mill. I'm probably going to run lights anytime I'm out here, because where the shed is enclosed down there, it's a little light, being a little dark, enclosed in 3 sides. So anyway, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you with the next video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and leave us a comment.
Daddy?
Yes?
Let's try that.